Meanwhile, at the Hall of Cage.
This is my snakeskin jacket, and for me, it's a symbol of my individuality and belief in personal freedom.
Oh God, not the bees.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey.
What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save the fucking day.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd. I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. How absurd.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
How absurd.
What's in the bag? A shark or something?
How absurd.
Well, I think you better pull the trigger, because I don't give a fuck.
How absurd.
I never disrobe before gunplay.
How absurd.
I don't want to get into spoilers, but there's like one development with him and another character people weren't fond of.
I mean, I get it, but it's the same. Like it's that's the point of it. It's like that episode of Batman the Animated Series where young Tim Drake meets that one girl trying to escape her abusive father. Turns out he's Clayface and she's also Clayface, and it ripped out my 13-year-old heart.
Well, that is, but I don't know if we're talking about the same thing.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Since you don't want to get into spoiler territory.
Well, I don't or does it matter? Future spoilers for a show you may watch, canon.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, granted, I haven't seen that episode of the animated series of Batman he just mentioned.
Really?
You haven't?
And I own it. Like I'm ready to knock that shit out.
Yeah, this
never
was
watched the whole thing.
This was after they did the redesign and they had Tim as Robin.
The new Adventures of
Batman.
Yeah, they took.
I know. I never.
That's
saw
one
that.
of the best episodes in that new run, hands down.
I was at a convention and I saw somebody had painted Clayface and the Batman and Tim and the little girl, and I was like, I hadn't thought of that episode in 10 years at that point, and the rest of my fucking day was just done.
It's just like shattered.
Yeah, like I looked at him, was like, how could you have done this? He goes, I know, man, me too. It's like, fuck you, first of all. Second of all, how much is that? I want to buy it and burn it so nobody else has to feel this pain. I would hide it in a closet.
The man who painted this, your mom's a hoe.
Oh, such painful memories.
It's really good.
And what a great way to open tonight's episode of Caging Greatness.
Oh,
hello! Yeah.
Of course we were recording.
Yeah, we're recording. It's been
he
good.
snuck that shit in.
Yeah, it's good. You get the best stuff.
Just the cadence of his voice, I knew he had already hit the record button.
Yeah, because I turned on my people voice as opposed to my
voice.
Oh, yeah, just it's the fake voice that I use.
It's also how he answers the phone.
It is. It's the fake voice I use for customers and people who listen to this show.
Yes. That means only we know what the real Justin sounds like.
That's right. You know, it's so weird that you called me. I'm so used to calling me Shimmy that I just that threw me off just now.
Yeah,
I don't think I liked it.
It's getting to where I'm calling him Shim.
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
it's almost like that's his handle on everything.
I mean, it kind of is. Yeah,
branding is important. I know.
Although I was surprised to find out that you weren't the only Captain Shimmy. There was another guy on YouTube. It's like, who the fuck is this?
Really?
Guy? It's like some song and dance guy.
Yeah, I had the name before him. I know who you're talking about. I've had the name since 2004. 2004.
Long time.
Yeah. Welcome to the episode where we explain our social media handles.
I mean, it wouldn't make for bad content.
I mean,
today.
I think I have a slightly interesting story about mine. Yeah. If I haven't told it on a show already. So.
Well, because the thing is, tonight's episode, or today's episode, whatever the fuck you're listening to it, I don't know your life. Don't judge me.
But tell us about your life. It might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, leave it in the comments along with a 5-star review and telling us how handsome we are.
Yeah, especially if you're a gun runner.
Yeah. So welcome to Caging Greatness, and I'm here as always with my wonderful co-host. Today's movie is one of my personal favorites. And it's a good movie, so we're probably going to have a lot of bullshit around talking about the movie, because it seems like our best episodes are when the movie is just utter dog shit. But I'm here with my hosts, just recently returned from helping produce an alt-rock musical adaptation of Hansel and Gretel called And You Will Know Us by the Trail of Bread. Yeah, I'm fucking hilarious.
I don't get that. I'm sorry.
It's a rock band, and they will know us by the Trail of Dead. God.
I'm sorry.
You know what? There's going to be like one guy who's listening who's like, "Oh, that was the funniest fucking joke, man."
I for the first time ever, I feel legitimately bad for not getting your joke.
I mean,
because
that's fair.
I know you swing for the fences on these, and I want to like them so
I
bad.
but like I said, I know there's going to be one guy who's like, "That was fucking funny."
Yeah.
That was a good one.
See, that's how you know you're a great comedian. You just razor edge of specificity.
Yeah, I'm just keep going with these references until it's me and one other dude who thinks it's fucking great.
And you hope that one dude happens to listen to this show.
Right. And then leaves a review talking about how handsome we are.
Specifically handsome. Nothing
Specifically
else. Not
handsome.
quality of the show.
Nope.
Not how good the show sounds.
Nope.
Just
not even humor or intellect or how much we really go in depth on these movies. You need to tell us how fucking handsome we are.
Even though odds are you have no idea of what we look like, you're just gauging our attractiveness by the sound of our voices.
You just got to. You're listening to our podcast, so you trust us to at least a small degree. So trust us. We are handsome AF.
Preach.
And my co-hosts, your friends, Ken, Pat, and Jonathan. We're going real quick because this is already 5 minutes in, and we haven't said anything of substance.
This is true.
Yeah.
Woo. I mean, it's fine.
We call that the cold open.
It's all good.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly a cold open. The theme song would have already played by now. Why are you pointing a finger gun at me? I don't like it. Oh, God.
Finger guns all around yet again.
Nope. I am not participating in this barbarism.
Well, you know what that means.
Justin.
Yeah.
I believe Jonathan has a question for you.
Do you like Wilkins coffee?
Bang, bang, bang,
Sorry, I got to remember to. I want to go ahead and apologize for Travolting Development because I forget that sometimes people listen to podcasts with goddamn earbuds. So there were times where I had that whole mic in my mouth apparently. So for that, I do apologize. I will be better about it.
Well, don't feel bad. It's like the first 6 months of AYCH, Cole and Wenzel were just screaming. Just literally screaming. And hell, it still happens today.
All right. I've got one more. Since my Hansel and Gretel one didn't work, I'm going to go ahead and bust this one out.
Okay.
Just to see how it goes, okay?
He's workshopping
This
tonight.
is a weaker one, I will admit, but I think it's funny, okay?
Mm-hmm, okay.
My co-hosts recently returned from producing a documentary about soap production called Dove, actually.
See, I like that one better.
Yeah, I mean, I do get that one. You know what?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Okay.
There you go.
All right, he opened a cold one for my joke.
I don't even like this beer. So
I was about
why
to say,
did you-
it didn't have the panache
It- I
that
mean-
the Bud Light does.
Why did you buy it?
I mean, I bought it for Liz.
Oh.
But
well, that
the
makes
thing
sense.
is, this was the only canned thing in there, and I needed something. So I'm going to drink this damn thing regardless. I'm just saying.
He's going to be making a sour face.
I will
the whole
say,
time.
sorry. It's a pretty can, but it's a nasty beer.
Is that the passion fruit beer? Or whatever that was?
Yeah, passion fruit. Yeah.
It was one I didn't
it's
absolutely
tangy.
hate.
Again,
Really?
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just
I mean, I
sitting
didn't
here
love
not
it.
getting it. I don't drink. I don't get it. And I'm not one of those guys that doesn't drink and think that makes me better than you.
No.
I just think I'm better than you in general.
I mean, as someone who does drink occasionally, like, even I understand why it's not for everyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, the alcoholic, abusive, drug-addled bastard father probably didn't help. Well, it's whatever. Neither here nor there. My
But
trauma's
like
not important.
The Jim Gaffigan bit where he's just like, you start drinking when you're a teenager and you do it to be cool, even though it all tastes like ass. And then by the time you're 40, you're chemically dependent on it.
I mean, that seems to be the case.
Yep.
but I wouldn't know personally. Lord of War.
Lord of War.
That's the movie we're watching, starring Nicolas Cage,
be mighty.
Ethan Hawke, Bridget Moynihan, and other people, including Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bilbo Baggins
Yeah,
is in this
Ian
movie.
Holm is fantastic. So let's go around and see what we thought of the movie. Starting with my right, because we play musical chairs every time we do this show. Pat, what'd you think, buddy?
Well, I would have to say I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars.
Oh, that might be the highest Pat rating on the show so far.
I would say it is because I really did enjoy myself. Minor complaints here and there, but we'll get into that. But I really enjoyed it. It had a great sense of visual style, and just the cinematography was just like really slick. Just some amazing shots, and I really enjoyed myself. This is a fun movie. Well, not a traditionally fun movie, but
Yeah,
it
this
was,
movie kind of depressing as shit.
but it was very enjoyable in a macabre sense.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's higher than you gave Godzilla vs. Kong, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh. Would not have called that one. Spoiler alert, I fucking loved Godzilla Kong.
Also, let's clear the air. Everybody in this room loved Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yes.
And I'm the one that's been fucking fighting folks behind the scenes on Toku Twitter because these sad sacks of shit are just like, man, this isn't real Toku. This isn't real kaiju.
Oh my
Eat
God.
ass.
Just shut up.
Are they trying to gatekeep Godzilla now? Sons of bitches.
Bitch,
Oh
where have
my
you been?
God.
I'm a Kong fan. I don't know this shit.
It's all Toku. It's all kaiju, and there's. I'm not getting into it.
I'm
not
barely-
getting into
I don't think we
Toku
can.
Twitter.
I get on Twitter to look at the things that wrestlers and comic people have said and that I enjoy, and then I hit the little heart button, and sometimes I have a pithy comeback to you assholes. And that's it. That is my Twitter spirits.
What we're trying to say is watch Godzilla vs. Kong and, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Absolutely. Why haven't you started Falcon Winter Soldier yet? Or Godzilla Kong? What are you doing listening to us? Go watch those
Should we
things and
talk
come
about
back.
how we watched?
Well,
Godzilla
let's
versus-
finish
go
the
around
round
the
table.
table.
Yeah. Jonathan, my friend.
So this was my first time seeing this movie. I've always heard of this movie. It was like, oh, it's that Nicolas Cage movie, but that was all I knew. Like, no plot details or nothing.
Right.
So went in as blind as physically possible. Like
I shut the whole time.
I had a blindfold on and everything.
Yeah. Eyes wide shut.
Hot take. That's my favorite Kubrick.
What's wrong with
I
you?
burped.
Because I hate myself. That's why.
Maybe John likes weird sex cults in the movies, show.
I mean, it's not even. We don't even know that that's actually what he was going to release before he fucking died.
We kind of do.
I mean, it's probably, but you know how he is. He would have changed that shit after it hit theaters.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's not bad. It's just not.
I know
Good
of
as
it.
the rest
I just
of it.
haven't seen it.
Anywho,
Yeah,
I
Lord
really
of War.
enjoyed Lord of War. I really enjoyed it. 4 out of 5. Like we'll get into some minor nitpicks. No
Sure.
big deal. But yeah, it was a pretty fucking great movie. I was not expecting it be as dark as it was, but
It's dark as fuck.
Yeah. God, it went down some territory even I forgot about.
I was like, well, shit. You want to learn about child war and the military-industrial complex? Here you go.
Yes, this movie is about Nicolas Cage as a gun runner, mostly to Africa. So it goes exactly where you think it does.
Very sad.
Yeah. Canon.
This is one of my favorite Nicolas Cage performances. In fact, I've said it for a long time, and I really want this podcast to prove me wrong, but I do believe that this is the final legitimately great performance that he has given on film. I love this movie. I have always loved this movie. I forgot how beautiful it was. Like, it's gorgeous. Like Pat said, the cinematography is just spot on. That intro alone,
Yeah.
I forgot about the intro.
The
I haven't
intro's
seen this movie
amazing.
in a long time.
Yeah.
But biggest score on the podcast so far, 5 stars for me. I
Nice.
love this movie.
And, this has been one of my favorites for a really long time. Nicolas Cage is incredible in it. And, I gave it 5 stars. If it was a 10-star rating system, it'd be like a 9. But
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of 4.5. I've said that on the show before. I don't like the 5 star.
Is like kind of like 9.
I know, but I don't like I don't like the feel of it. I know it's the same thing, but I don't like it. I feel like there's not enough nuance in the 5-star system, even with fractions.
You just got to count those halves as a 1 and a 2.
I would give a 9. What would be like a 9 on a 10-star system? A 5.
Yeah. So for me, it's a 5-star movie. It'd be a 9-star movie if it was out of 10, but it's not. So 5 stars. But I love this movie. This might be, honestly, my favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
I deeply love this movie. And
Rarefied air.
To me, there's nitpicks, there's flaws. Just because I give it 5 stars doesn't mean it's not perfect.
Well, no movie's perfect.
Right. But to me, honestly, just jumping right into the hate. Bridget Moynihan. I want to like her. She seems like a lovely lady. Tom Brady did her dirty, according to all the tabloids.
Well, Tom Brady's a piece of shit.
Tom Brady is a piece
and
of shit.
he kisses his kids on the mouth. What the fuck's wrong with
That's kind of fucking weird.
The tightest in the school of parenting.
But I want to like her, and I thought she was fun in iRobot, where she had to play a stilted, wooden, joyless scientist. But I'm starting to think that wasn't necessarily acting, because in this movie, she's stilted, wooden, and joyless, but a model. And I just, everything about the movie, and I don't know if it's just, I'm trying to be fair to her, because like I said, I want to like her. She seems like a nice lady, but maybe it's just she's getting out-acted in every scene because Ethan Hawke is tremendously underrated and Nicolas Cage is an Oscar-winning actor who is amazing. Mm-hmm. And that's correct. The only people her scenes are with in general, like the except for like the crowd scenes, including Jared Leto, who, again, spoiler alert, but this is something to look forward to, gets brutally murdered. You're welcome. And she's just not good in this movie because, and I don't know if it's because she's not good and she hasn't acted in forever, or if it's because she's just outclassed at every turn.
I think it's a mixture of that, and I don't think the writing really does her any favors either.
I mean, she doesn't really get much to do, honestly.
Yeah, because it was, to me, that was probably the weakest, that whole subplot's the weakest part of the movie, because I feel like that could have been developed a little more, but it was one of those things when the final confrontation between Nick Cage and Ethan Hawke at the end of the movie.
Right.
Like when Nicolas Cage says, I've lost my entire family at this point. It rang a little hollow. It didn't hit as hard as it probably could have if we had a little more time to sort of flesh out the relationship, and if we had a better actress in the role.
Right, and that's a decent enough argument. But to me, the scene at the end, because we're going to jump around like we always do. If you're listening to this at this point, you're used to this. This is not new for you.
Yeah,
probably just going to go ahead and assume you may have already seen it.
Yeah, I would hope so. But the scene at the end where Bridget Moynihan discovers Nicolas Cage's what's it called,
the storage unit.
Yeah, it's not like you think a storage unit,
like the storage, like it's like a crate.
Yeah, like they have on
like a shipping crate.
Yeah, on the boat that got stuck last week or whenever that was. Time is the construct. Mm-hmm. But he has one of those. It's full of all his fake passports and briefcases and weapons and paintings he's been buying that she made to make her think she's a successful artist. It's full of that shit, and she doesn't say anything. But I couldn't help but feel like a more talented actress wouldn't have had to say anything to express the utter betrayal and devastation she felt. Whereas Bridget Moynihan in this scene, and maybe it's not great direction, I don't know. Again, I'm trying to make sure that I'm being fair, but in this scene, it looks like
the guy who directed this movie also directed In Time.
And from what I've read, she wasn't the first choice to begin with.
Yeah, but in the scene where she finds all that shit, it looks like she just found out her Uber Eats was going to be 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
Like that was. Have you seen me when Uber Eats is 30 minutes late? I'm fucking pissed.
Exactly. and she didn't even seem that pissed about it. Like, it's just, she's not good in this.
Aw, my nuggies.
Yeah, actually the first choice for the role was Bobby Moynihan.
I forget who the first choice was. I don't even know. It was just a thing I read.
It's Saturday Night Live, where we got a piece of toast. And returning for 57 years, Bobby Moynihan.
Also, I want you guys to know that there was a spider crawling under the table that was about the size of a $50, and I smushed the fuck out of it.
Well tied.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Also stole that bit from Rick and Morty.
Which bit?
The Moynihan bit.
I got it.
Oh,
He got
okay.
it.
See, there was one upstairs today when I had just gotten off of work. Like, I had opened the door and I hear Liz screaming. I'm like, oh, God. And she's like, it was a fucking spider. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
No, like $50 size. It's in the little
I
crater.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you for saving our lives.
Sure. It was like 10 minutes ago, so I want y'all to appreciate how calm and collected I was.
Yeah, I like, if it was me, I probably wouldn't have done the same.
There would have been more screaming.
Yeah.
There'd been more screaming, and my pants would probably be full of shit.
I mean, like, if you had looked at me the moment I saw the thing, you would have saw that I got a little pale and my eyes went really, really big. Thankfully, it was just cruising along, and now it's dead.
I'm going to be looking at the floor the whole time
I've
we're
already pulled
recording
up my
now.
feet.
Jesus Christ.
Like, you guys have probably noticed I keep glancing down because, you know,
Yeah.
might be the shortest episode ever.
Yeah, not because we don't have any content. It's that we're afraid of the bugs.
I mean,
in the
last
basement.
The walls start to move. Oh, wait, that's a bunch of bugs.
I mean, that Travolting development episode, we had a possible like fugitive on the loose, and now we
Yep.
got like 8-legged freaks crawling everywhere.
You know, I liked that movie. It wasn't
I mean,
a
I
good
was
movie,
young
but I
when
enjoyed
saw
it.
but I remember enjoying it. I was a kid. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. So, Lord of War.
Lord of War is not 8-legged freak.
It's not.
So I think, damn it, I forgot my bit. We both forgot our bits tonight, by the way.
What bits?
Well, we forgot about how Thomas Jefferson is an insufferable prick.
He absolutely is. Fuck that guy.
And I forgot to ask the audience if this film left us moonstruck or made us want to rip our face off.
That's a good one. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's terrible now, but it would have been better if I
No,
remembered
it was
earlier.
good. This whole episode's been pretty disjointed. It is like 9:45 after a very long week, and it's only fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, it's only Wednesday, my dudes. Back away from the mic when you scream, Cannon. I'm getting good at this shit.
Come for the Nicolas Cage, stay for the old Vine references.
I will say this movie, you know, that we've been talking about,
Right,
this whole time,
briefly. Yeah. For 5 of the 20 minutes we've been
I
bullshitting.
forget has one of the best opening lines of a movie ever.
Which one?
It was like I may skip a word here or there, but it's like there are 550 million firearms in the world. That's one per every 12 person on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how do we arm the other 11?
Yeah, no, that was an incredible line, and the delivery was amazing.
Yes,
Because,
like, he
like-
is so good in this movie, and he doesn't have to, you know, like do the stereotypical Cage thing to do it. He is like legit acting in this film.
Yeah, that's what
Mwah.
that's what I was going to say. Is like you know, Nicolas Cage, like at this point, is like a meme.
Yeah,
But like, he didn't have to do the my eyes. I don't know what that was.
there were a couple of moments where it got close, but they were still like
And what's
made
funny,
sense in the moment.
they were both like really similar to each other.
Yeah.
Because one is when he was talking to Jared Leto about something. I don't remember, like maybe his borscht. I don't know. And he's like, "This is shit. This is shit." And then another one where he's talking to the pilot before they land in the African highway.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "No, you got this. You can land. You're the shit. You're the shit. You're the shit." And that was,
It's like
that was the cagiest he got.
yeah. It seemed like he was trying. He was holding the cage back. The cage kind of got released for a little bit, but he was able to leash it.
Yeah.
He's able to cage his greatness.
He was able to cage
He couldn't do it.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
the thing. Oh my god!
But yeah, I mean, it
But
was
yeah,
a really good movie.
this honestly made me remember how like unironically great Nicolas Cage can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Given
he's
the-
an Oscar-winning actor.
Oh yeah. Even though the Oscars don't, they mean shit in that they help get people roles, but like,
Well, I mean, he won his when they meant more than they do today. He won his in the 90s.
yeah.
Huh?
Well, I mean, the Oscars still suck then.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're not great, but better than now.
Yeah.
Oh, that was before Marissa Tomei won one.
What did Marissa Tomei win an Oscar for?
My Cousin Vinny.
I'd say that's deserved.
I like that
That's
movie.
a good movie.
Not the year she was nominated in.
I mean,
I don't have the fucking 1991
Yeah, I don't have
Oscars
that
in
list
front of me
in
or
front of
whatever the fuck.
not saying I don't believe you,
Yeah.
but
I mean, she was great, but there were rumors for years that the presenter fucked up and called her name by accident, and they just rolled with it. But then when that whole Moonlight thing happened with Warren Beatty, it was like, okay, maybe Mr. Tomei did earn the Oscar. I don't know.
God, you remember that time when they just like fucked up the best picture that one year?
Yeah.
And they were just like, La La Land. And everyone was like, yeah, we kind of expected this. And it was like, oh no, it was really Moonlight. We're not shitting you. It's actually Moonlight. Moonlight's a fantastic movie. You should watch it.
It's on Netflix.
I don't like Cher.
Moonlight's not
Moonstruck.
I just wanted to say that I don't like Cher.
You thought of the wrong movie. Admit it.
I don't like Cher.
We know, but you said the wrong
no
thing.
backseat, Shem.
No takey backsies.
I don't like Cher?
No, you cannot like Cher.
Yeah, no, I thought of the wrong movie. But the important thing is I don't like Cher.
That's homophobic.
How is it homophobic?
She's gay culture.
The Moonlight is about a gay black dude.
I haven't seen Moonlight.
You should see it because it's good.
But I don't like Cher.
You're going to jail, Buster.
Oh my God, this doesn't make any sense. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Fucking Justin's canceled.
Can don't leave. So Lord of War.
Lord of War.
No, the real fucking question is, what does Otto think of this movie?
Oh, he loved it.
Yeah, he's
Hell
a big
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Otto's on his happy side means he enjoys it.
But you know, how good was Ethan Hawke in this movie, too?
Oh, yeah, he was.
Because the thing is, in this movie, if you haven't seen it, Nicolas Cage is 100% the bad guy. Absolutely 100%. He is the bad guy.
I mean,
he's the villain.
He is literally a war profiteer.
He's the villain. He's an arms dealer. He's the bad guy. And the whole time, because he's so good, and Ethan Hawke is written and playing it so straight as the law-abiding good man with a conscience, you fucking hate Ethan Hawke. Like, he's like, this guy sucks. Like, but Law and Order. Yeah, but Nicolas Cage, though. I mean, hang on. Did I just side with a war profiteer?
Yeah, this man literally handed guns to children.
Because he's good at his fucking job.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like,
granted, I thought I was kind of on the side of Ethan Hawke. I was like, this guy's kind of a cunt. I mean, he's well acted, well written, well played cunt. But he's still a cunt.
yeah, I mean, he's clearly right, but you hate him.
Could you be less of a dick, sir, as you're trying to stop this war profiteer?
But and they were great. And Ian Holm was a rival war profiteer who was really good.
You know, the whole time in my head, I was thinking of when Bilbo and Nick Cage were sort of like bickering, and they're sort of like, I'm the bigger war profiteer. I was just thinking in my mind, like, William Regan walks out to the stage, the microphone, Nicolas Cage, Ian Holmes are in war games, and then just drop a cage down on top of them.
Oh my God.
Every time I see Ian Holm, I just think of that Leonard Nimoy song, Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did that. He did a Hobbit themed pop song in, what was it, the late 60s? Mid
70s.
70s. Okay. Yeah, but
I have no idea what they're talking about, everybody.
we need to show you this shit. Because it's Leonard Nimoy doing a song about Bilbo Baggins, the Hobbit. It's based on the Hobbit. In Middle Earth, in the land of the Shire,
means I super don't know what it's about.
all admire. Like, it's weird, but good. Like, you get stuck in your head.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings, did y'all know that fucking Stanley Kubrick almost made Lord of the Rings with the Hobbits were going to be played by the Beatles?
Really?
Yeah. And then Stanley Kubrick was like, this book is unfilmable. And then Peter Jackson said, hold my beer.
Well, to be fair, to a perfectionist like Kubrick, I imagine it was pretty daunting.
Oh, yeah. And especially for the time, too.
And plus, there weren't any women for him to emotionally disturb.
That's fair. They were also going to do an adaptation. The guy who wrote and directed Excalibur.
I don't know.
God, I can't think of his name. But like, Excalibur's a great movie, but that only got made because their Lord of the Rings stuff didn't work, and he was going to have it be weird as fuck. Like, the Nazgul horses were going to be skinless, and you were going to see their muscles and sinews as they were riding along.
Oh, that's metal as shit.
Yeah, you should look up that script because it's fucking bonkers, right? It's a good time, but that fell through. So he made Excalibur, which I think was a much better option. That's a damn good movie.
Speaking of adaptations, Excalibur is also a color commentator on the All Elite Wrestling television program. And last I heard, they're doing an adaptation of what Pat mentioned earlier, War Games, but it's going to be called Blood and Fucking Guts.
I don't think it's called Blood and Fucking Guts.
I mean, no, they can't say that.
I think it's just Blood and Guts.
It's just Blood and Guts, yes.
But it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be
a good time.
fantastic.
Knowing AEW would be blood and shit and guts.
Or blood and that bitch
It'll
and
be a
guts.
dysentery theme tonight.
That sounds like something WWE would do.
Yeah, Vince loves Dookie jokes.
He does love Dookie.
Hey guys, y'all want scurvy?
Dookie.
Dookie was a good album.
Yeah.
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 You know, it was a good movie. Lord of War.
It was good.
Yes.
The movie that we're definitely talking only about, Lord of War.
Let's talk about that intro.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you're basically, it's like imagine in your head a GoPro attached to a bullet.
Yeah, it's like the POV of a bullet, like being born and its trajectory.
Bullet, this is your life.
With that song that I can never remember the name of. Do you remember the name? It's a one-hit wonder, but stop here, what's that sound? Don't copyright this podcast. That one. That song is playing, so it's like perfect. Like the soundtrack for this movie was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, he's just following the life of a bullet. As you were saying.
No, I was just saying it was good stuff.
Right before it murders a child.
Yeah. It does kill a kid.
That was like, we know what we're getting in for.
Yeah.
Because that opening shot with fucking Nick Cage, and he says like the really cool line, it gives you this impression that this movie's going to be like cool and fun, and then you see a poor African child get killed, and then you're like, oh no, this is going to be depressing as shit.
Like, I really appreciated how the movie kept hitting you with those waves of, this Yuri guy, this Nicolas Cage character is really cool. Oh yeah, no, he's gun running, that's good, making that cash. Why are those 9-year-olds dead? And then it just snaps you back to, oh right, this guy's the fucking villain.
When you see actual children being executed by firing squad.
Yeah.
I see that, or the
massacre.
Or the woman and child getting hacked by machetes. That was intense.
Yeah, and they did really well filming that because it cuts away as soon as the first hit, like right before it hits them. Yeah. So you don't see anything, and that just makes it fucking worse.
Yeah, because your mind creates worse images than what any filmmaker can conjure.
Oh yeah, and it feels skeevy to say this was a really fucking good movie, and these kids die, and then all this shit horrible happens.
It's a good movie. Africa gets exploited.
We're not saying that we agree with what's happening. It's terrible, and that's the point. It's making you think about it, but it's also really well made.
Why do we have to say that before? We don't condone the things that are done in this movie. We can still like a movie even though just catastrophic things happen in it.
So far, the list of movies and stuff we've been doing, we haven't had the best luck as far as being unproblematic.
Well, I don't think this movie is unproblematic, or I don't think it's super problematic because this is something that happened. And I think it's handled with pretty great depth.
Absolutely,
they're pointing out all the terrible things war profiteering and military industrial complex. All these things they're saying this is bad.
Yeah,
and obviously it's bad that this guy is just getting away scot free at everything that he does.
I just want to make sure that it doesn't come across like we're excited about the content. We appreciate.
When that woman and child got hacked by machetes, 10 out of 10. That's cool. Don't
we
isolate that
appreciate
audio.
the filmmaking, and we support the idea of less violence in the world. And
we
we're
like
excited
movies
about how good the movie was.
We like movies. That's the
it.
point.
Yeah, we enjoy movies. Especially ones where Jared Leto fucking dies.
Right. I was going to have to get this out at some point, but possibly a hot take. I enjoy Jared Leto as an actor.
He's a good
he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. Absolutely.
I'm not saying Suicide Squad was good. It wasn't, but I feel like given the right opportunity, he could chew up some scenery as a Joker.
He's really good at being a strung out drug addict.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was in Requiem for a Dream, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he wasn't playing a character in a lot of these movies. Like my problem with Jared Leto is not his acting. He's a great actor. That's you can't deny that. He's very talented. My problem is that he's a scuzz-sucking, scummy cult leader, human being, piece of shit who also exploits women and young girls and is just the fucking worst human being in the world. Come at me, you piece of shit.
Shimmy and Jared Leto fight. Let's
even
go.
if he wasn't like scummy and shit, he's just kind of cringy IRL.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of a lolcow.
And like the thing is, like some of those 30-second to Mars songs are actually good.
Yeah, that's one album I had.
And then you see him I watched him. I found the YouTube videos of him performing live, and this motherfucker lets the audience sing like 90% of the fucking songs.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Because he's a talentless hack on stage.
I was in a band where the lead singer forgot the words to a song and literally just shoved the mic in the crowd for the rest of the song. That was quite embarrassing.
That's fantastic.
What was the song?
Animals by Nickelback.
Why does Nickelback keep coming up on this show?
Ooh, for all the Nickelback songs, that one.
Yeah, that was the one.
That's a egregious.
It was fun to play on guitar though.
Oh, I can imagine. Like it's a pretty good riff, but it's just like, and then once Chad Kroeger opens his mouth, and then it's like. Ugh.
Did you see where they tried to jump on the sea shanty bandwagon?
No.
Yeah, they did a sea shanty version of Rockstar.
Oh, fucking kill me.
Not good.
I don't know how
okay, like I don't understand why that song was stupid popular. It's not good. I mean, granted, like this is like cold take of the century right here. Like Nickelback bad? like yeah, I get like, you know, low hanging fruit, blah blah blah. But God, that even for that album, that song was like really garbage.
Yeah.
And it was the end of the album too, so it was like way to end on a wet fart.
Yeah, and like they're not all bad. That one Chad Kroeger song that he did for the Spider-Man soundtrack called Hero. That's not a bad song.
That song is kind of a bop.
I like that song. I've liked that song for a long time.
I believe Josie Scott got fucked out of a lot of money on that deal too.
He did.
Yeah.
He's now a Christian
He's
singer.
a fucking preacher now. It's so weird. Some sort of like he's a deacon at his church.
The same man who wrote the song "Click Click Boom."
All the time with the new sound, even though it's fuck wow. Click click boom. Don't sue us. I had that album actually.
Really?
I did. I'll admit it. Sue me.
God, this is just that episode where me and Cannon admit that we have like garbage music taste.
I had their second album too.
Oh,
It was a long time ago.
Oh, my phone's not on silent.
No. Pokemon Go.
Is that another meditation note?
No.
Yes, that was my reminder to meditate.
That was
Thank
a
you.
reminder that there's a Pikachu on the loose.
Look, I'll have you know I have quite a few Pikachus on Pokemon
I know.
Go.
I do too.
Yeah. 6 out of 10.
I know. It wasn't my best.
Yeah, it'd be all right. Yeah. Lord of War.
Lord of War, everyone.
God,
Like,
there's
really,
only
though,
that one person who's just itching to hear our commentary about this movie, and
they turned it off when I said fuck
they
Cher.
are just fucking mad.
Yeah, they turned it off when I said I hate Cher.
Yeah, I don't get
It's like, stop going on tangents. Get to the fireworks factory.
Okay, look, like for real though, Lord of War is a great movie, and you're doing a disservice to yourself if you don't watch it. Like it's like we can yell and talk shit about things like Jiu-Jitsu or John Travolta in general, or you know, like some of the other horror movies we're gonna get to, like Left Behind. We're gonna talk mad shit on Left Behind. It's gonna happen. But like this movie. And like the weird ones like National Treasure or The Rock, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to say about
Con
those.
Air.
Right? Con Air.
Yeah.
The Face Off. There's going to be so much good stuff when we get to those. But some of these movies, like I think Bringing Out the Dead is going to be a good time because that one's weird and trippy and beautifully acted. I think we're going to have a lot to say about that one.
That's the Martin Scorsese one,
that's
right?
the Scorsese one. But in this particular instance, with Lord of War, it's a really, really fucking solid movie about a very serious subject that's portrayed, like the whole movie is incredibly entertaining and also leaves you with a lot to think about. And You know what I mean? Like,
It's so good we have nothing to talk about.
yeah, that's the thing.
No, we can like get some juice out of this one.
Like, because I've made notes. I've got notes,
I
but
got some notes too.
but we've already gone all over. Well, I mean, there's a good OJ Simpson gag that I liked. Like,
do tell.
Well, in the hotel in Africa where Nicolas Cage is staying, it's set during that time period during the trial.
Yeah.
And the two African men, like in the hotel lobby, are like, he almost cut her head entirely off. When I go to America, I'm not moving to Brentwood. And I thought that was hilarious. That was a good little jab. It was funny. Because anytime OJ Simpson's brought up, fuck that guy. He killed 2 people.
He did. Do you remember that time he created a punk-style reality show? And most of the bits was just him, like, awkwardly standing in the corner. And then, like, people having the slow realization, that's OJ Simpson.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Yeah, it was called Juiced.
Is that real?
Yes,
It is 100% real. It was directed by the same guy who, you know, the prolific auteur for Girls Gone Wild.
I don't
know.
Look, you guys keep trying to prank we all keep trying to prank each other and shit, and I don't.
I am 100% serious. It only, spoiler alert, it only lasted like 6 episodes.
Why is the logo coming
God
in my
heaven.
head, but I don't remember anything?
It's
about
real.
it?
It's real.
It's very real.
I hate everything about this.
And one of the best parts is that most of the time, all the jokes fell flat because people didn't know who O.J. Simpson was half the time.
or they were afraid he was going to fucking kill him because he's a murderer. He killed 2 people.
Yeah, because the one time the guy realizes it's O.J. Simpson, it is like, that's O.J. Simpson. And then you see the look on his face of like, I'm about to die. but like they would like hire like people from like out of the country who didn't know the context of who OJ was, so they were just like, okay, and who are you?
Yeah.
Also, there's a rumor he might be on the current season of The Masked Singer.
I would be so angry. I don't even watch the show, but I don't. He killed his wife and a waiter. Norm Macdonald got fired for saying that shit on Saturday Night Live all the time because he killed people. He fucking murdered people and then tried to profit on it. He's a murderer.
Well, apparently that the character that might be O.J. Simpson is either him or Todd Vick, and people are thinking it's
You mean
O.J.
Michael
Simpson
Vick?
Michael Vick, because they think Michael Vick is too much of a taboo. Because no, he killed dogs, but it's not the same as killing people.
Fucking what?
They think Michael Vick might be more bad press than O.J. Simpson. And there's also the rumor that O.J. Simpson and Casey Anthony were going to get a reality show where they conceived a child together.
What?
Yes.
For the express purpose of getting her pregnant so they can live together on a reality show.
What the hell is happening right now?
This turned into the OJ podcast. Holy shit.
Ain't America fuck, y'all? Just like war profiteering. That America does a lot of... does a lot of.
Also, the LAPD, they kind of suck too.
Shimmy's brain has melted out of his ears.
If you listen closely, you can hear pop rocks. That's his brain.
I'm so deeply upset at the last 10 minutes of my life. I am not okay with any
promise?
of the words that you have said. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right, I do want to bring up this little snippet I got from the critical reception of the
OJ.
film.
Oh my god.
While Shimmy recomputes,
I just wanted to bring this up because this little snippet I took from Wikipedia. Lord of War received fairly positive reviews from critics. The film received a 61% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus states, while Lord of War is an intelligent examination of the gun trade, it is too scattershot in its plotting to connect. Now, I had a little problem with that. Now, this movie does, in fact, if we haven't brought it up already, it spans like decades. Well, not decades, but
About
years,
20
like
years,
rapid fire.
20, 25 years.
I would say that is one of my sort of qualms with the film. It's like how fast it goes, because like the first 30 minutes I'm like, shit, I feel like this could be half the movie.
And I'm sorry,
because it goes from like backroom deals to international like success, quote quote, in the span of like 10 minutes.
Well, I get why they did that, though, because he even talks about it. Then the fall of the Soviet Union was really the turning point in arms dealing, because you've got Ian Holm as the old school guy who picks sides and just supplies the sides he agrees with. And then you've got the new guys, like the angry, rough around the edges ones who just want to make money, like Nicolas Cage. And the Cold War and the fall of Soviet Russia opened those doors with all of those munitions. And so you got to go from the old to the new, and then the changing over wasn't just an immediate process, So that's why you've got that huge span of time to show the beginnings of gun running across the world into the new era of gun running, and then to the more modern day where, at the end, Nicolas Cage gets arrested, and then he's let go because America needs him out there supplying guns to places. You got to get from point A to point B to show the full scope of how big of a problem it is. So, I mean, I get that. They could have adjusted here and there, but
maybe like 10, 15 minutes to let things breathe.
Yeah.
But I did kind of appreciate, because in a lot of ways this is kind of like hit similar beats of like an origin story. And it could be very easily get bogged down in sort of the minutia of getting from him basically working in the back door of this fucking restaurant to being an international gun runner.
Yeah.
Like I definitely think like it's not to the like great detriment, but I just thought like it's how he has one backroom deal, then suddenly he's in the Middle East,
Yeah.
Like with making like big moves. So like that's a big jump. And I understand, also realize I appreciate it doesn't tread that part of the pool for too long. Mm-hmm. I feel like just they could just had like a little bit more in between there to sort of like pad that out.
Bridge that.
Because
gap.
that's a fairly big jump between just like, oh, here's some gangsters I'm giving the Uzi to, like suddenly he's giving guns to the Taliban or whoever the fuck.
It could also be a fact of like how when they have YouTube videos showing how to make explosives, they skip parts. They might have been trying to err on the side of caution to not show how you go from gun running in your neighborhood to doing deals in the Middle East with the army.
Yeah, I mean, there's
don't do this cool thing, kids. Don't become a war puppeteer in 9 easy steps.
Which, I mean, granted, like the way this movie is presented, I don't think any sensible person can come out of this movie and be like, I want to be a arms dealer.
But then people watch, Scarface and think Tony Montana did nothing wrong and he's someone to aspire to.
Well, the Scarface is a little different because that's sort of framed as cool. This really isn't, or at least I don't think it is.
I mean, I just feel like, there is a lot happening at once, and it's just going super fast. But I was able to follow everything well enough.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a pacing issue with the movie.
No. Well, because you've got the stuff in Africa that's the main point of what they're trying to say. So you got to rush through to get to that and give it the most room to breathe.
Besides, if anything, and I never caught this until this viewing, the first 45 minutes of this movie, I think I realized why I like it so much.
Yeah.
It's Blow.
The Johnny Depp movie?
Yes.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, I love that fucking movie.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's just Blow with guns.
Yeah. Did this come out before Blow?
I think it was after.
Yeah,
I think Blow was 2000, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I was in high school, like young high school.
And I do believe this movie is like loosely based off of a story of a real gun runner.
Yeah. Blow was 2001. So yeah, that was about 4 or 5 years before this one. Johnny Depp kind of sucks.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of suck.
Yeah, that's
a lot of people suck in general.
Yeah, no, that's very true. It's very true. Very true.
Except us.
Yeah, especially OJ Simpson. I'm going to be mad about that for days. I want you to know that. Like, you have legitimately soiled my week.
Like 30 minutes ago, if you would have told me OJ Simpson would have been brought up, I'd probably be like, fair, but how?
And the weird thing was, like, I said, like, squeeze the juice out of the lemon. Like, what if I would have just said orange and then that just happened anyway?
Well, see, I would love orange juice, though.
I love freshly squeezed orange juice.
Yeah,
it's great
good stuff. Yeah. I have a
Orange
glass
Cassidy?
every morning.
Orange Cassidy is also great.
Orange Cassidy's fantastic.
Oh, I need to bring him down here.
I was
Thanks
about to
again,
say, like,
Emilio.
yeah,
Thank you, man.
Why? I was going to ask why. Like, where's Cassidy?
It's still upstairs.
Okay.
Oh man. Also, can we talk about the scenes where he like just pulls some shit out of his ass and gets out of trouble? Because this happens like what, at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, like the first time's on a boat where they repaint it real fucking quick and have like shitty paperwork and pay off intelligence dudes to tip off Ethan Hawke that the boat he's looking for is actually somewhere else as opposed to under his feet.
Has like week old potatoes in the canisters.
Well, and what's so from Ethan Hawke's character's perspective, it's so frustrating is he knows Nicolas Cage is a bad fucking dude. It's just that there isn't anything he can pin him on because money can erase a lot of things.
That, and he works just within the letter of the law.
Yeah,
Just enough legality to skirt by. And
it's just enough to piss you off.
Yeah, because there's that point where they have to land the plane on that African highway.
The best part.
Such a good scene. And the one African cop with Ethan Hawke's like, let's kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hawke's like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, well, who would know? He's like, we would know. And I'm like, yeah. And you'd probably feel better about it. You should kill him.
This is my problem. I've mentioned it before with like the Batman morality. Except like with Batman's case, there's a reason why he has to do that because they have to keep making more books. But fucking just kill the motherfucker.
Also, to be fair, in Batman's case, all of his villains are legitimately mentally ill. Mostly. Catwoman's not.
The meta sense of like it's hard to come up with a new character each time, especially if certain characters sell better. So like, okay, you're going away for a little while, so I can't kill you because that's like the real world reason for it.
Right.
Yeah, they're like the meta reason.
Yeah.
Again with that,
and also like Batman's like a comic book character.
Right. So
this
is Nicolas Cage.
This guy's like a fucking
Nicolas Cage is a comic book character. Let's be real.
Yeah, but like. This is based off a real person.
There are real world people who are profiting off of like guns and violence, and they're using every method to their disposal to keep perpetuating endless violence. And like obviously those people should be stopped. It's just like when he kind of like had this kid glove attitude. It's like we have to be honorable because we're the good people here, and not do this crooked thing to stop them. We have to stop them in the right way. Quote, right way.
They go low, we go high.
I
say they go low, we go lower.
I got a couple of fun facts that would probably go hand in hand with what y'all are talking about right now. This was interesting things that I found. No U.S. studio would back this movie. International finances were secured instead.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
And
yeah, I can see that.
According to writer and director Andrew
Nichol.
Oh, that's an L. I'm sorry. Apparently, I need glasses. The filmmakers worked with actual gun runners in the making of this movie. The tanks lined up for sale were real and belonged to a Czech arms dealer who had to have them back to sell to another country. They used a real stockpile of over 3,000 AK-47s, that one scene where they're fucking weighing them, because it was cheaper than getting prop guns.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. So I'm going to say the people who made this movie saw actual crimes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
this movie wasn't ethical.
One more. Before shooting the scene where tanks were lined up for sale, those were all real tanks, the filmmakers had to warn NATO lest they think a real war was being started when they see satellite images of the set.
That's incredible.
Like that. That's fucking
awesome.
Incredible facts.
Jesus.
It's crazy how they got this shit done.
For a movie that no one really remembers unless you mention it. And it's like, oh yeah, that
I
movie.
never forget.
Yeah, no, I watch it like once a year.
I just wonder under what sort of scrutiny could Nicolas Cage be considered a real war criminal? Is he complicit in war crimes?
And
try him at Nuremberg.
Look, he's got to find the Holy Grail. He's going to do what it takes to find the Grail.
And if that means becoming a gun runner.
A gun runner.
A gun runner.
Yeah, because Nicholas says no drugs, only guns. That's crossing the line.
Got to find the Grail. That's his life's goal.
Also, back to your point, Batman also said, "Don't let your sense of morals keep you from doing what's right."
Batman also said, "I'm Batman."
Yeah, he does. He has to remind himself who he is.
But I remember every day.
Yeah. Cannon's got the tattoo.
I literally have "I'm Batman" on my arm.
Yeah.
And people think it's the devil because they're stupid. It literally says who it is on my arm, people.
But we live in Alabama. Those people probably can't read.
You're not wrong.
I mean, my mom thought for a while that Darth Maul was the devil, so I told her, like, no, mother, it's just an alien.
No.
I had to do the same thing with my mom.
Well, now your mom's...
What the hell?
Now your mom's going to know that you're making fun of them when they listen to the podcast.
You think my mom doesn't listen to the podcast, like 10 other podcasts I'm on. Like, she's just going to be like, you know what? This one I'm going to listen.
Lord of War, I love that movie. I'm going to give this one a listen, see what my beautiful baby boy has to say about it.
Is that the devil on her arm? What the hell?
The devil?
This is when I was like still working at Pyro's. Like one of my coworkers was like, "Yeah," a friend of mine saw it. It's like, "Yeah, what's that guy's name again? Like Cameron." He's got the devil tattooed on his arm. He's like, you mean Cannon, who has fucking Batman tattooed on his arm?
They just have these like vague notions of who you might be. like when you stand in front of them, you're not a person. You just like this weird blur smear.
I was probably like running, like, you can't do butt. Yeah. Also,
what you don't know is Cannon secretly the Flash.
I am. I'm so fast.
Zoom.
And you remember when he told that kid, "Hey son, get off of that helicopter or whatever"?
Yeah.
That was Nick Cage's son.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Neat.
Is that the one named
Weston
Cal-
Cage Coppola?
Yeah, Weston. Yeah.
Well, no,
I forget that he's related to the Coppolas, and that throws me the fuck off.
That's why he changed
Every
his
time
name.
I hear it.
He didn't want to ride the coattails of his family.
That is very admirable.
Yeah.
he made his fame all on his own.
He
Right.
did.
Right.
Although I wonder what their family reunions are like.
Oh God, you got fucking Francis Ford Coppola's crazy fucking ass, just like telling horror stories of apocalypse now.
All these people I traumatized. All these animals that were killed.
I never got any gravy on my potatoes. Never got gravy done one time. I haven't even seen that movie.
That's a fun movie.
What movie is that from?
Vampire's
Yeah, it's
Kiss?
Vampire's Kiss. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So Lord of War.
What was everyone's favorite part of Lord of War?
For me, it's probably the landing the airplane scene.
Yeah.
That's a
that was
good one.
That's
Yeah.
a good scene.
Or Jared Leto getting shot.
I did think it was kind of funny. I mean, I know obviously that it's part of his arc after he got sobered up because he was a drug addict. So like realize the scope of what he was a part of. It's like, oh, it's bad. But to me, it just seemed really funny to be this late in the game. It's like, oh wait, war profiteering bad.
See,
It's like this is a very inconvenient time to get a conscience.
Yeah, standing
Really?
next to the trucks full of guns, next to the people that are about to get killed by them, and that's when you're like, oh wait, hang on, not a good thing.
No, again, it had been a really long time since I'd seen this movie, and I knew Jared Leto's character died, but I forgot how he died. So, like, I wrote in my notes. I was like, I forgot how Jared Leto dies. Thanks, Shim, for the not spoilers.
Yeah,
I don't know why in my head I thought he like OD'd.
I don't know. That's weird.
I forgot about him getting mowed the fuck down.
Yeah, fucking dead.
And then what was like just fucking crazy is then they go back to fucking business as usual.
Yeah.
It's just so casual.
Well, we still had half the gun, and I was like, oh god, your brother just died.
Yeah, you just because he blew up one of the trucks and got shot.
Was Breaking
Get
Bad
half the
out at
diamonds.
this point?
No.
No.
It came out in 2008.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, because Walter White get paid in blood diamonds.
God.
Yeah, this might have been like the first major Hollywood mention of blood diamonds, even before that Leo movie, Blood Diamonds.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Leo movie Blood Diamonds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blood Diamonds. Star Map app. Oh wait, that's another show. I'm sorry.
Star Map app. I think probably my.
You want to talk about the Fanatic again? No,
I don't want to talk about the Fanatic ever.
never again, ever,
rest of my
ever
life.
again.
It's forbidden.
As far as like favorite scenes, probably that final interrogation scene
That was a good one.
where
was excellent.
Nicolas Cage just tells Ethan Hawke, he's like, in a minute you are going to get a knock at the door, and he details everything that's going to happen. He's like, you're going to let me go. And then you hear the knock on the door, and then Ethan Hawke is just like, fuck.
Oh yeah, he was so. And again, going back to Bridget Moynihan being unable to act without talking, or in general in this movie, when Ethan Hawke hears that knock on the door, you see just his soul rip in half.
I thought that was
so good.
A great moment where he just has like these angry, just like impotent tears, just like burning a hole in Nicolas Cage. But he realizes like they circumvented the law, and he can't get out of it. Mm-hmm. Which I thought that was just a great moment.
He knew he lost, and you could see it on his face. And Ethan Hawke is really underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bold choice to end the movie that way too. It's just like, I just remember after I finished watching it, I was just like, well, fuck, I need to go to bed. This is depressing.
Yeah, because Nicolas Cage, he gets away and he continues to do his thing completely unimpeded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, like, if it had gone any other way, I think that would.
It wouldn't have been realistic.
It would have been a flaw, because this shit happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, for as much as we say, like, ACAB and fuck the feds and whatnot, there are genuinely people in there who, despite the system they're under, try to do what's best, but they can't because the system fucking stuck. So, hence, ACAB.
Lord of War was great. Pat, what was your favorite thing?
I'm having a hard time just picking like a singular like moment that I really liked.
It could be several things. It doesn't have to be just one thing.
Because like you said, like let the excuse me, I'm trying to get my words together here. The African highway scene, like I did like the moment where Nick Cage's character has like a moment of pause when he meets the African dictator, where he's like, oh wait, I'm not used to this level of barbarism right in front of my face. Like, he was taken aback by just how, loosey goosey this guy was, to use a phrase.
well, and like I think like the whole scene with Baptiste was, or the whole like set of scenes with him,
Baptiste being the African warlord.
Yeah, just that was such a good like further descent into the heart of darkness.
Actually, he prefers it Lord of War.
Yeah, that's a great line. Like,
yeah,
thank
that
you,
was
but I prefer it my way.
But like,
Nice title drop there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But like, because one of the big evils of a lot of these drug runners is how callous and detached they are from the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then that was sort of like an interesting part of his character, where he was just like, I don't want to be a part of this. Fuck this shit. But like, he has Baptiste literally like forces him to kill Ian Holm. Yeah, that was a rough scene too.
Yeah, that was tough.
And let's see. I feel like I'm more so drawing to like just singular shots that really like are sticking out in my mind. There was one moment toward the earlier part of the film where he's doing one of his first gun deals in the Middle East, and they're just on this flat, arid landscape, and just like a single tree, just like sharp blue sky, just like this like harsh like not cut, but just like delineation between like these like warm and cold colors, and you just see them like sort of doing the deal there. That really stood out to me. And there's a moment where I think Nick Cage is trying to get out of like this legal bungle by like calling up like his shady general friend, and the way the general's in shadow, and he's sort of, it's such a slight perspective shot to like this architecture that's slanted, and it's like this really sort of like just like this popping color against the shadow. So there's a lot of like, I would say almost chiaroscuro with some of the shot composition in the film, just like the dark and the lights that really just stuck in my head more so than like
individual moments.
Yeah, because like I don't know, maybe that's just the way my brain is, but I just like, or like when he was trying to escape the helicopter that's looking for him, so he gets out of his cab, and he's walking down this tunnel. You see this long high arched tunnel. He's just walking in the dark back toward the light of the city. Like that's just like stuck in my brain. I just love the way the shots look.
Yeah,
because despite that this movie comes from the guy who directed In Time, like this
wasn't a bad movie. I liked In Time.
I mean, obviously there's a
That
level.
Justin Timberlake movie?
Yeah. It wasn't
I didn't
bad.
see it.
But there's a level of difference between In Time.
There's a level. There's a gulf in quality between Lord of War and. But yeah, like the fucking cinematography in this movie is fucking fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Just like, and like you were saying, just like individual shots, just kind of like are etched into your brain. Like I keep coming back to the sort of bookends of the movie where it's the shot of Nicolas Cage in the fucking like at the crossroads and the road's covered in bullets.
Where he's like breaking the fourth wall.
Where he breaks the fourth wall, and yeah, it's like really on the nose.
I'm a
obvious.
sucker for people breaking the fourth wall
But
in movies.
like,
God damn it, I love it.
Yeah.
But like it was still like very like poignant.
Yeah.
And there are definitely some that will say that there are certain topics to be addressed that you can't, fussy around with sort of like art or subtlety or ambiguity. Sometimes you have to be direct and say how fucked up something is.
Yeah.
And like an author track by itself isn't necessarily bad. It's all how it's executed. And there's also a lot of personal taste as well. But like, sometimes, you have to tell your story with the subtlety of dropping an apple on their head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like with something like this, it's, and I could even see how like some people who may be a little more sensitive could see like this movie might be a little insensitive to the topic at hand. I mean, I personally disagree. I think it handles it pretty well. But like, I guess sort of how it's kind of framed, kind of fun, but like, I don't know. I'm just talking.
No, I do think that it is interesting how I think it was a purposeful decision to maybe make some of the things he does look fun to sort of lull you into security. It's like, oh wow, this is fun. Then
Because
then
like,
you have to take a step back. So, oh wait, that's what gets people sucked into it, is the glamour and the fun. And it's like, oh wait, how they're making their fun is that thousands of people are being died, because that one of the moments that's kind of like a big sort of comedic part of the film is when he lands the plane in emergency and just like, in order to get rid of all the guns, so when the feds find them, he's like, they can't charge him with anything. He's where just like all these, random people on the side of the road. Hey, come get your guns, everybody! It's
Guns, grenades, RPGs.
So literally, he clears out this plane. It's like, haha, he won't get caught. Then he realized, oh wait, hundreds of people just walked away with thousands of pounds of munitions, and like, and this is already a very strife-filled portion of Africa. And you think like, oh wait, even though this is funny, this is really fucked up.
Yeah, and like, oh god, I think I totally agree with you. Like that, like, because no one like wakes up one day and is just like, you know what would be cool if I just created an endless cycle of war and just made money off that shit. And you can sort of see his like, excuse me, his own like rationale. Using like NRA talking points, like, cars kill more people than guns,
Cigarettes.
And cigarettes and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but like...
Those are skewed numbers.
Those are very skewed numbers.
Yeah.
God damn it, now I just want to watch Thank You for Smoking.
That is a really good movie.
That's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
It's a great prequel to Battlefield LA.
I guess, we've already talked about a lot of them. Like, some of my favorite parts, like Jonathan mentioned, the bookend parts where he's just like in a sea of bullet casings everywhere, and he's talking to you, the viewer, while just breaking the fourth wall. Every bit of like him just like not even having to lift his finger to get out of every scenario where he could go to jail, but he just gets the fuck out of it. He's just that good at what he does.
And normally when you have like characters be that lucky, it can be not satisfying. But like when it is like even like villain protagonists like this guy, like if it's villains, like it's almost like it's like, God damn it,
Yeah.
versus like, if like a hero hypothetical hero were to do
It's
that.
sort of like
the
that
same.
plot armor is like, oh, they get away just as the right time, even though like everything's stacked against them. It's like, okay, that one in real life, how lucky could a person get? But I feel like even though he has all these close shades throughout the film, it never felt like
felt like an ass pull.
Yeah, it kind of felt like
because this shit does happen.
Because there are definitely people who are like either they're stupid lucky or like they know how to rig the system well enough that they sort of squeak by. I feel like that was very indicative of what that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like this movie, like it's weird. Like, sorry to bring it up again, but like as bad as The Fanatic was, and how long that like 89 minutes felt. This movie's 2 hours, and it flew the fuck by.
Yeah, no,
again,
for sure.
probably because they are throwing stuff at you left and right. But like
And
I
it's
said, this
good.
one's- yeah, it's like it. I don't know if this will even make sense, but like the pacing comes off like how say just like your typical action movie would, but it's not an action movie.
It kind of has the same rhythm of like hitting certain beats at certain times.
Yeah, like you're never bored. There's something happening at every single turn.
It never lingers too long where it shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie, and we definitely recommend that you guys go watch it.
It's definitely the best one we've covered so far.
Yeah,
I would say so. I mean, I love all the ones we've watched, but this is the like objectively the best film. To me, it's not the best Nick Cage performance. I still think that Color Out of Space for me is that, but that's just a preference.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, it's really good, and you guys should go watch it along with Godzilla vs. Kong and Falcon Winter Soldier. Your list is getting long, people. All three of you. Hop
All
two.
three of you.
You have a lot of homework.
Speaking of Godzilla versus Kong, I want to. I'm sorry, I'm going to brag on your ass right now, Pat. This kind soul fucking rented us a whole screen at our local theater so we could watch Godzilla versus Kong, and it was a fantastic time. And thank you again,
thank you,
sir,
Pat.
so
It was-
much.
it was
You were the
lovely.
best.
Also,
Best around.
shameless plug, listen to our Godzilla Kong episode.
Yeah, because we did a review of Godzilla vs. Kong over on the AYCH feed.
I need to check that one out.
Go check
I'm
it out.
excited.
It was about as coherent as this one was in terms of like reviewing the plot, but it's also like a reunion episode for the boys because it's the first time we.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
This is the first time we recorded in person in over a year. But like on the Godzilla vs. Kong screening, like I did it because y'all deserve it. We all went through a long 2020, and I knew that would be something everybody would like, so I wouldn't do that for y'all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. It was a
Also,
good time.
it had the unintended side effect of making us always want private
Yeah,
screenings
like
for
I'm
movies.
serious. I will do that for Suicide Squad.
I mean, by
like-
then I don't think we'll have to.
No, but I'll still do it.
But we
by-
still have the option.
Well, also, by then it might be more money. Because it was pretty cheap to rent a theater compared to what you'd expect.
Well, yeah,
But
when
that's
they-
because they were at like half capacity.
You
So.
know what? You have a point.
But it never hurts to ask.
Right, no,
Yeah.
we'll still definitely ask for sure. And also, we've got Mortal Kombat coming up because this is releasing to us. This is releasing next Thursday, but to you listening, this released today or perhaps yesterday or the day after. Any given time, really. It just depends on when you're listening because time is linear and also a construct.
But April 15th is when this episode will be coming out.
Yes, April. You're listening to this after April 15th, but if you're one of our real super fans, you're listening April 15th. Thanks, Frank.
Day one on the ground.
And
Boots
so,
on the ground.
so pretty shortly after this, we're going to have a special episode, aren't we? Like a big crossover between Ach and Kug.
Yeah, if all goes well, we'll have a fun little review of Mortal Kombat 2021 for y'all to listen to.
Oh,
And we'll be hosting it on both channels, even though the Caging Greatness audience is pretty much the same audience.
It's a very big Venn diagram.
It's just a circle. It's a fucking circle, Pat. Call it what it is. It's a circle.
circles are human constructs.
But yeah, if all goes well, that'll be happening. And if something goes wrong, you're not going to have any fucking idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So hopefully all will
like
go well.
most of our episodes.
Right.
I'll say that we had a fun ass time watching a movie that y'all won't get to hear us talk about if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you'll just have to come hang out with us.
God.
But yeah, I think that'll probably do it for this episode. I was gonna say tonight's episode or today's episode or yesterday's episode, whenever the fuck you're listening to it. I don't know your life. Not my problem.
I'm guessing if this time beats the length of jiu-jitsu, which I doubt it did, it will continue the trend.
No. This if we end like in the next 30 minutes, this will be our shorter, not our longest episode. It'll be a shorter episode.
Oh,
because like each episode got progressively longer.
Yeah. Like this is the combo break,
but not Travolting Development. That was the longest of the first episode. No,
Right.
who am I kidding? That was a long fucking episode.
That was a long episode.
It's longer than the movie.
It was fun.
Yeah, no, can't wait to do it again soon.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to be starting a new thing pretty soon. Should be next Thursday if you're listening to this on the Thursday it releases. If not, April 22nd.
Yes, that's right.
We're starting a new thing called Uncaged episodes, where we just do random shit once a month. Even we don't know what we're going to be doing, which is really not that far off from how we usually do things. So, got a lot of really fun us-themed shit coming your way. So, hope you enjoy us. If you don't, why are you listening?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
What's the point? I
If
mean,
it's-
thanks, but why are you here?
If you want concise movie reviews,
Go watch Chris Stuckman's videos.
they're pointing other places. If you want wild, disjointed, meandering reviews, still there's a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
But we glad you appreciate our specific flair. But with our other non-cage specific show, which Jimmy was very excited to because with us AYCH, we waited 6 months for our first in-house spinoff. She was like, nah, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit.
We're getting to the goofy
Balls
stuff.
to the wall.
I mean, to be fair, when you approached me about us doing this podcast, you wanted to start it in May. Or you want to start 2 months after we did. And I'm like, nah, let's do it now. Because I had nothing going on in my life.
Look at you now.
Yeah, now I have a podcast.
Look at me now.
So, yeah, no, I don't like waiting around for really cool ideas. And, you guys have had some really cool ideas. And I want to do those really cool ideas. And if 2 people like it when they listen to it, then yay. Thanks, Pearson and Frank. And, yeah, if not, at least we had fun. And we learned.
That's the most important thing.
That's right. We learned about OJ Simpson, the
Yes.
murderer. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming your way. So yeah, it's time to say goodnight. Pat, where can the people, all 3 of them, find you?
Me?
You?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, gosh, y'all, if you feel ever so inclined, why don't you mosey on down under to on the Tweety machine, twitter.com, and follow me at John Lost His Name on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, and my art on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art. And what are we doing over on AYCH? Well, funny you asked, because I know you did.
I didn't hear anyone.
Well, I hear all kinds of things, even though I don't hear the
What's
right
that
thing.
clicking sound?
Oh, that's just my tinnitus. Don't worry. If you're listening to this the week it came out, we just dropped our quarantine catch-up episode where it's just AYC boys catching up on all the things they did in between movie watchings and the crushing existential dread. Just catching up with what we've been doing. It's a good time. Go check that out. And we always have a lot of stuff fun over there, so we hope you join us over there.
I'm a big fan of existential dread.
Big time.
We're lousy with it over here.
Jonathan, where can they find you?
Well, I mean, we're all friends of existential dread.
For sure.
But what about existential bread?
I mean,
I like bread.
I do love a good bread.
I like bread that I'm not sure exists, but it's just the looming thought of it just pervades my every being.
I mean, I love carbs way too much. That's why I'm fucking fat as shit. Anyway, my name is Jonathan. You can follow me on Twitter at JONIIBOI24 and John Doe 12 on Letterboxd.
That sounded good.
Yeah, you're getting good at that.
Yeah. Bravo.
Easy,
Nice.
breezy, beautiful.
Cover girl. Maybe I was born with it. Maybe it was fucking Maybelline, bitches. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
My hair got caught in the chair.
yeah, you don't see that in the Cover Girl commercials.
That's the same chair that stabbed my head twice.
Oh God, that was fucking.
That was amazing.
I'm sorry, that was hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh, it's good.
Well, I am Cannon, the guy with 2 giant gaping holes in the back of his head. You can find me at that Cannon guy on Letterboxd, Twitter, and Instagram.
And I, of course, am your host, Justin, a.k.a. Shimmy. You can find me online anywhere Captain Shimmy you find. That's 99% of the time going to be me. Captain Shimmy's Kinda Art for the stuff that I draw. Captain Shimmy's Almost Music for the weird shit that I make on FL Studio. Shout out to FL Studio. Hey, do you want to sponsor us? We use you to record our shit. It'd be great.
Really cool.
Or you can find me at the Comic Strip, the store that I own, where we sell comics here in Tuscaloosa on Hargrove Road. We're open 6 days a week, and I have many comics for selling. Or you can just listen to this here. I don't know. I'm here all the time. Fuck. If you're listening to this, you probably know where to find me anyway. It's not a big fucking deal. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed.
Wait,
the
you
podcast.
have a comic book store?
What?
I mean, you did spend like a lot of money there yesterday.
I did.
But also, if you're a half-naked man in boxers and a bucket hat, don't come back.
How did we not mention that before the fucking plugs? Oh my
It was
god.
scarring. All right, just real quick.
Post-credit
Oh
scene.
god. Bonus
Real quick.
features.
Postscript.
I'm sitting in the shop yesterday. The door opens and there's a man, probably about 5'7", scraggly hair, scraggly beard, walks in wearing nothing but tennis shoes, a bucket hat, and boxers. He slams $10 from a wad of bills onto the counter and says, "Hey man, you gonna let me out the back door, right?" And I said, "You need to get the hell out." And he said, "Come on, man, let me out the back door." And I said, "You need to get the hell out." He said, "Come on, man." And he sort of bows up at me. So I stand up because I'm 6'3" and like 380 pounds. And I say, "You need to get the fuck out." And so he leaves, walks right out the door into the waiting arms of the 3 cops that were looking for him. And then just sort of insults them for a while and
Calls them virgins.
he does call them virgins and said they were probably bullied in high school. And then says, they're
Sad thing is he's probably
not wrong.
There's a pretty
why?
good chance of that where we live.
And they're like, why are you having, like, what's wrong, man? And he's like, "Man, my old lady caught me and my girlfriend showed up and it's just a bad..." So I was like, "Oh, I don't like anything that's happening here." So I stood there and made sure he left and then considered posting on the shop's Facebook that pants are indeed required for entry into the store.
You figured that'd be self-explanatory.
But I got a mask on. I don't need pants.
He didn't have a mask. He just no fucking boxers and a hat.
Yeah, but
And the thing that made me angriest, what I'm really upset about, is there's a law in capitalism called supply and demand. I had an excellent supply of opening the back door, and demand necessitated that price be a lot higher than $10, you cheap bastard. Like,
That
I
is
hope
very
you
true.
listen. You peeled off a $10 bill from a stack of them, you motherfucker. Like, I'd have opened the door for $100. There was a cop out back. You'd have run right into him, and I'd have had $100. But you peel off a 10, you cheap sumbitch.
it's like, how much is your freedom worth, my man?
Yeah, it's like, you're running from the cops. That is not the time to be cheap.
But
So-
in hindsight, it was probably a good thing because if you'd taken that bill, you'd probably got hepatitis A through G.
Yeah, I mean,
Or you could have done a thing where, like, you could have opened the door proportional to the amount he paid you. So you opened the door a crack, and it's like, that's all you get, bud. He
Yeah.
just, like, squeezes that door like a fucking cat.
like, I hope he was keeping that money in his hat or his shoes.
Oh, you know
But-
that. You know
Yeah.
he's
It was in his
fucking-
butt.
It's in
he's
his
keeping
ass.
that shit up his ass.
Yeah, it was in his ass. It was in his ass crack.
In his prison pocket.
Wait a
So-
minute. He had time to put on shoes?
He was wearing shoes and socks and boxers and a bucket hat.
Of course, this fucker be wearing his sandals with socks.
What the fuck?
But yeah, so just as a quick aside, if you want to come visit the comic strip and hang out and buy some stuff, wear pants and a shirt and a mask. Hats and shoes are optional. Shoes are preferred. There might be something sharp. I don't want you to step on it and that hurt. But definitely pants. Wear fucking pants. Like, in fact, if you're just going out into public, wear pants. I don't think we should have to say this to people, but here we are.
But
But if you're barefoot, you can still buy a comic.
we live in a society, and sometimes you have to inform the people of that.
We
society.
live in a pantsless society.
Also, remember to bribe well.
You remember that show, Pants Off, Dance
I
Off?
was just about to bring that up. Oh my god. Yes, I do.
That was a fucking weird show.
That was a weird show.
Anyway, we are very thankful that you listened to this episode of Caging Greatness. We will be back next week with our brand new Uncaged episode. We have no idea what we're doing. We're going to be spinning a wheel to decide. We'll put on the TikTok. If you're on the TikTok like the cool kids, just give us a follow on Caging Greatness. That's the TikTok link. Also the Facebook link and the Instagram link and the Twitter link. But you probably already knew that because you're already listening to us. But anyway, rate us 5 stars, call us handsome, and never let anyone cage your greatness.
Not a one.
Good night, everybody.
I
Good
shitted.
night. Oh, no.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
How absurd.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
How absurd.